A guest with Jack Ryan vibes. Joining me now is Skylar Gallup, host of the Hey Amarillo podcast. So glad that you're in. You're introducing me to somebody that I don't know about, so I want to know more.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so. So this week's episode is a conversation with Matt Garrison.
Okay.
He's a local boy, grew up in Amarillo. I think first and foremost, a really storied law enforcement career, which is very interesting to hear about. Everything from kind of small town forces. He ended up being a Texas Ranger for more than a decade, working I-40, which is one really interesting hotspot of the conversation of what that, it's the main artery of the United States. And if you take a moment to put yourself in his position, he's walking up to whatever, they call it the main artery, whatever she's got to offer that day.
Well, and throughout the years of me doing news, I don't know how many times I've talked about a major drug bust on I-40. It's always between Conway and Vegas, somewhere along that stretch of I-40. The amount of drug interdiction that happens in just that spot alone. So I'm sure he had some fascinating stories.
He did. Additionally, he spent a good amount of time down on the border. Interestingly, right when they were gearing up kind of a large-scale kind of border enforcement there. So that's very interesting. And then the Jack Ryan vibes.
Yeah, give me the scoop here.
He would totally not. I don't know him well, but just from the conversation, he would not describe himself as that, as most people that give real Jack Ryan vibes would not.
Right.
But he totally does. So he spent a good amount of time in law enforcement, retired from there, and then was hired to do private security detail for CEOs and executives of Department of Defense contracts.
What?
All over the world. It's so fascinating. I really, really enjoyed. I think you'll know this being a journalist. Yeah. The guys with really cool stories, you got to pull them out.
Right.
They're not.
They're not just going to offer those up. You got to do a little bit of digging, and it takes some good time.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is a guy that grew up here, went to WT, and he just has a ton of roots here in our area.
He did. He loves this place. He spent a good amount of time with the security detail, literally all over the world. One of my favorite kind of little side stories from the podcast, he said he got to a point, and I've got a travel bug, so I'm so jealous. He got to a point where he had to write on a Post-it note on his hotel bedside table in what country he was, because he was traveling so much.
That's crazy.
I know. And so I asked him what his favorite countries were, surprising countries. He talks about getting jammed up in Chile. I mean, just the coolest, right here in Amarillo.
Getting jammed up in Chile. I gotta know more about that. Okay, so what is he doing now?
Yep, he runs a business that provides a lot of the work that he's done, a lot of his body of work. It started, I think, from a really lovely place in recognizing the unfortunate need for high quality security in churches.
Okay.
And so part of his work is in churches, but also he still provides like security detail for CEOs. He does firearm safety training and a lot of different classes like that. Works with schools to some extent, but kind of putting like what his body of work to use, helping other people feel safe. We also talk about what can sometimes feel like a dangerous or scary world. Yeah. And I really wanted to ask his perspective of a career of identifying threats, kind of how he would approach that. And he's got some really interesting advice in that way. So really just a super rounded conversation from a real humble civil servant.
All right, well, I can't wait to dive into the latest episode of Hey Amarillo. Don't forget, download it wherever you get your podcast. This week's guest, Matt Garrison. Go check it out on the Hey Amarillo podcast. We've got more Studio 4 coming up after this.